I remember along with probably most people, was saying at the beginning, oh, by the 4th of July, somebody had a thing how the country the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me. But that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump. Because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look, the stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to fucking sink this economy by this time, and they didn't. So, how do we deal with that fact? Because that's the fact. Yeah. Your shot doing nothing, not engaging, has zero chance. Yeah. Mine, this guy, I'm telling you, I know this cat a lot better than I did before. He's a people person. He talks to people. You have to keep the lines open. The stupidest thing the left does, and this dinner is a perfect example of it, is having this attitude toward the right that we won't even break bread with you. Yeah. We are so far above you that we won't even sit down at the same table with you. Look, that is their attitude, and that makes me sick too. I'm glad I break bread, and what makes them hate the left so much. They think that they're deplorables. We're deplorables, and you won't even sit down to dinner with us. Well, good luck. See how far that gets you.
I know it always seems like the liberals, leftists, Democrats, they always seem to get issues wrong. And as you saw from the intro, Bill Maher outlined some of the number one problems why a lot of leftists are in an echo chamber. I talked about this a lot. When it comes to the echo chamber problem, leftists always complains that both sides have this problem. And as a conservative, I always argue, no, both sides could have this problem, but the side that struggles with echo chamber the most is on the left. As you saw from various studies, there's more political diversity on the right than on the left. The left canceled one of their own, for instance, Anna Kasparian recently. She did an interview with Tucker Carlson, right? Which sparked this, I think, one with the Brian Taylor Cohen. Because if you look at statistics, and I prove my own statistics. If you look at Democrat women, they're the least open out of all the political groups. Democratic men are more open than Democratic women. Democratic women are 38% more, 2 times more likely, but 38% of Democratic women will block, unfriend, disassociate with a friend that spews or gives a different political opinion. And one of the reasons why the left loves censorship so much is because they don't want to have discussions. They just want to build consensus. The truth gets in the way of building consensus. This is the liberal mantra. This is the leftist mantra, because they believe that you should live just like them in a very passive aggressive way. But I digress. I think I rambled too much on this. I want to put up a clip of the tariff, for example. Every day in their mama keeps saying, "Oh my God, Trump's tanking the economy with tariffs, tariff this, tariff that. Oh, Trump's lying about the tariffs," and every single time these people be proven wrong. And this is one of the problems that I think Democrats always run into, and why Americans are starting to trust conservatives more. And I'll show you a video on that real quick.
Over the weekend, Donald Trump announced a new trade deal with the European Union. It will result in a $90 billion per year tax hike on American families. When you raise tariffs, the American families pay for it. $90 billion tax on American families in this tariff deal with the European Union. Donald Trump is, as usual, trying to hype up, exaggerate, and lie about his accomplishments. Donald Trump always lies, almost always lies about his accomplishments, and this is no exception.
Isabel, the bottom line is this is the biggest trade deal in President Trump's effort to effectively reshape the global trading order. That has been one of his central priorities since taking office in January. He's been issuing many threats of tariffs, but they clearly have been working in terms of bringing other countries, allies, and adversaries alike, in some cases, to the negotiating table. And the latest example was today here in Scotland when the leader of the European Commission, who of course is negotiating for the European Union, she agreed to a 15% across-the-board tariff. Now that is significantly higher than the 10% tariffs in existence now, but it's much lower than the 30% threat that was coming on Friday and the 50% threat that was made in May. So clearly there has been an instance where the president has been using his threats of higher tariffs as a negotiating tactic, and in this case, it certainly worked.
Mr. President, you have a successful social media site. There are new powers here to censor your site, states mandated powers.
To censor my site?
To censor your site and Twitter
Truth?
and Facebook.
Truth?
I mean Truth. Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's going to censor my site because I say only good things. Will you please uncensor my site?
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone. We've got some measures which are there to protect children, in particular from sites like suicide sites. We've had too many cases in the United Kingdom of young children taking their own lives, and when you look through their social media, they've been accessing sites which talk about suicide and encouraging, if you like, children down that road, and that is what we want to stop. There's nothing about censoring free speech.
But that treats all adults like children.
This country is the proud.
But that can treat all adults like children.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it.
You can feel it. You can feel the Overton window shifting. This is a fascinating moment. President Trump continues to berate the Europeans to stop the invasion of the West via mass migration. Instead of pushing back, Steinmeier attempts to prove his tough on immigration bona fides. The Overton window is moving in the right direction, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about practicality at the end of the day. That's what common sense is. It's practicality. You can want all these beautiful, you can have the best intentions. Oh, we want free market capitalism globally. Sure, but if a country is tariffing you and you're not tariffing them, is that really fair? Fair trade. Fair capitalism is built on the principles of fair trade, not open trade. And open trade is supposed to be what? Fair. What you do to me, I should be able to do to you. Right? Reciprocal. Hey, if I have more leverage or you need my market more than I need your market, you got to make it worth my while to open my market up to you. China play this game. No one's talking about, oh my God, China's going to tax their country 90%. Like Chuck Schumer's out here fear-mongering. And Chuck Schumer didn't even give you any points of why he believed this to be the case. He just said it. He just said, oh, this will increase Americans' tax bill by $90 billion. How, Chuck? How? He don't explain how. He does this fallacy that every liberal I met in my life do. They believe they have legitimacy just because they're a liberal. Just because they come out of their mouth, they think they have legitimacy. And this is the problem the left has. This is why the left feels like they can dismiss, be condescending, as Bill Maher put it. Oh, you don't deserve to be on the same table as us. We don't even want to have discussions with right-wingers. This is why right-wingers believe in misinformation. This is why they have this attitude on people on the right. But when they go into debates with people on the right, and the right points to truths and facts that are inconvenient to their narrative, they say, oh, you're referencing alternative facts. Alternative facts? Duh. I believe in alternative things. Of course I'm going to have facts on my side about what I'm spewing, what I'm talking about. Republicans are worried about immigration hurting the American people. What did Democrats do? Downplay it, dismiss it. Oh, illegals are not doing anything wrong. Then conservatives go back. All right, look at New York. 75% of crimes that are done in New York are done by illegals. Look at how soft on crime you are on illegals. What kind of incentive are you giving illegals, telling them that they can hit and assault NYPD and get away with no bail? What incentive are you pushing in society? And you're surprised that more illegals are taking advantage of this. Illegals on TikTok talking about how they can take over people's houses as squatters because of the squatter laws that Democrats instill in policy. You don't think that's going to create a bad incentive that's encouraging and emboldening people to do criminal actions? Oh, no, that won't happen. Typical Democrat, downplaying issues. And then they wonder why they lost the trust of the American people. They wonder why 28% of Americans, most Americans, sorry, only 28% of Americans look at the Democratic Party favorably. How much misinformation did Democrats push? Inflation was transitory under Biden. Biden's economy. Inflation is transitory. Here, inflation is going to increase eventually. You can't make a claim that's indefinite. You have to give some definitions. When is this inflation supposed to happen? Every time you give us a timeline, it never happened. But you want us to keep trusting you, and this is why the polls are where it's at right now.
This one was a surprising one to me, given everything that's going on in Russia, what happened in Iran, what happened in Gaza. But the bottom line is Democrats in the American voters' minds cannot hack it. What are we talking about? Party trust more in foreign policy. Well, the GOP holds an average 6-point lead in the month of July. Look at this. Fox News came out last week, plus 3 points for Republicans on foreign policy over the Democrats. You think that number is not high enough for you? How about the Wall Street Journal? GOP plus 8 points when they match congressional Democrats up against congressional Republicans. The bottom line is this. Despite everything that's going on in the world right now, Republicans are more trusted on Democrats when it comes to foreign policy and the world at large. Trust more in foreign policy. You go.
Because look at the results, right? And I keep talking about this ethos. What made me a conservative? What made me lean right? Results matter more than its intentions. The road to hell was paved with good intentions. People had good intentions, but it led to hell because of the result. The result, it was matter. It doesn't matter what someone says. It matters what the outcomes that they produce. If you say no cash bail, I don't care if the intention is, we don't want our system to be disproportionately beneficial to the rich who could pay exorbitant amount of fines. You commit a crime, if you can't do the time, you can't pay the fine, don't do the crime. That's the incentive that cash bail does. But that means rich people are above the law. They still have to pay something. They still take a penalty for being let out free for those privileges and permissions. Just because they have the resources to do it doesn't mean they got off scot-free. There's some type of accountability there. And even with cash bail, poor people still commit more crimes. Why? They have more. They don't have as much to lose. But when you do zero cash, no cash on bail, you incentivize more crime. Does that make practical sense to you? But that's the intention. The intention is, we don't want a system that benefits rich. We want a system that's equitable to all, with no cash bail. But what was the result? More crime in these areas that you said that you're there to protect. This soft on crime stuff, which come back and bit the progressives in the butt because of what happened at Cincinnati.
Trump had a 6-point advantage over Kamala Harris. Again, look at the average right now. It hasn't moved despite everything that's going on in the world. You see Republicans plus 6 points here. And this goes back to a larger issue that we have discussed over and over again here in the mornings. Despite any misgivings that the American public might have about Donald Trump, when you match up Republicans against Democrats, Donald Trump against Democrats, still at this particular point, they are doing significantly better than you might expect. And when it comes to the issue of foreign policy, again, what you see is in the American voters' minds, Democrats simply put can't hack it. More voters trust Republicans on foreign policy, very much like they did back during the 2024 campaign.
What about the strikes on Iran? Because while they were being contemplated, they were not universally popular.
No, they were not universally popular. And in the immediate aftermath, they were not universally popular. Look at this.
You know why? The media. The media, all they did was put negative coverage about it. How, oh my God, this is going to spark World War III, right? Always doomsday scenario with Donald Trump. Now, hey, let's wait and see what's going to happen. Here's what could happen, but we don't know for sure. Let's see how it plays out. That's how I would have covered it if it was me, honestly. If I was a media company CEO, I'll force all these correspondents, hey, cover this neutrally. We don't know what the hell's going to go on. And you're not going to hurt our reputation, our brand, by spewing fearmonger garbage. And that's what CNN and all these other news outlets did. Oh my God, it's going to spark World War III. There's going to be retaliation. Well, where was the retaliation? Waiting. Oh, peace, ceasefire deal. Huh. But the media was fearmongering about there was a good chance that this would spark World War III. Just like with the tariff stuff. Oh my God, the Trump recession is here. 3 months later, nothing. And it goes all the way back to the intro of this video with Bill Maher talking about the left's dumbest idea they ever did was to isolate themselves from the right. because it allows them to believe in this narrative nonsense. Only Democrats are the only political group that majority of them trust the mainstream media.
Net approval rating, U.S. airstrikes on Iran. In late June, the net approval rating, look at that, -8 points, underwater. But as the American people learned more and more about it, look at this, a 10-point rise. Now it's in the positive. The American people like the move that Donald Trump put on Iran, the U.S. airstrikes in Iran, a positive +2 net approval rating. So again, the bottom line is this. As the American people learn more about these airstrikes, as the American people compare Donald Trump and the Republicans against the Democrats, they see them far more favorably than you might expect.
Interesting and notable that the president is overseas today. Foreign policy may be an area that is stronger for him.
Hey, these people always got to cast doubt in your mind about Donald Trump and what he's doing. Right? But when it comes to a Democrat, Biden's economy, most Americans falsely believe that Biden economy is in a recession. Remember those articles? Donald Trump will never get that grace. And this is one of the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump, right? I know I'm gonna get a black Democrat eventually in these videos telling me how much of a coon I am or a bootlicker that I am. And I'm like, you're the pot calling the kettle black. Because you're defending a party that's the most unpopular it has ever been, that lost all 7 swing states, that lost the popular vote, yet you're still caping for them. Okay, black Democrat, stop projecting what you are on me. And let's look at the outcomes. Democrats offer nothing. They offer the American people nothing. Joe Biden had some of the worst economic numbers. He had the accelerated inflation pace. And you have black Democrats still defending it. His policies. Government spending. We all know government spending causes inflation, not tariffs. But but the media had no problem with Joe Biden spending trillions of dollars. No criticism, no negative spin on it. Yet you expect me to believe that these are the people that's going to hold power accountable. Yeah, right. If it's from their side, they won't hold no one accountable. And we saw that with the Biden mental decline story, the Biden cover-up. That's why it was such an issue when it first broke off. Why people kept talking about it incessantly. Because it showed exactly how complicit the media is in the hands of the Democratic Party. And the only way the media is ever going to get trust again is if they bring more political parity in their spins, in their narratives, in their approach to informing the American people. The complicit media has to change their processes. And if not, okay, we're just going to keep trusting the Republicans. Well, I digress. I'll leave it at there. Let me know your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you're so inclined. It really does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.